Well, good afternoon. I think still good morning in some areas of our beautiful country. I'm Holly Taylor. This is 1016 Entertainments. We need a special name, like our feature, a spotlight on some of the incredible artists that we get to work with. And I do want to say, I know my voice is and probably just sounds worse to me, but yeah, 'tis the season. It's always the end of October that the voice just says, "Peace. I'm tired. I need a break." Oh, goodness. So if it honks or squeaks, that's just the way we are today. Anyway, I'm so excited because today we get a chance to introduce to you a fairly new artist, at least to us. But there is definitely a story and a reason why Jodie Leslie is where she is today. So, Jodie, thank you so much for taking some time today.
Hey, Holly, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, well, it's so fun to be able to dive into the life and times because you're not just an artist, you're a wife, you're a mama bear, you had 3 kids. Um, I know some people dress up for Halloween, some people don't, so we'll just tackle the elephant in the room. Did you get a chance to dress your kids up today, or was it just like, "Good luck"?
Well, I miss those times. Actually, I am a stepmom. I stepped into it, and I'm just so blessed to be a part of my 3 stepdaughters' lives.
Amazing.
And we are now newly empty nesters, so
Oh,
I miss
amazing.
it. And I mean, they just enjoy dressing up, but we always taught them about Halloween and stuff like that. As Christians, it's important to know.
Yeah.
But I used to live in Alberta, and so I gauge when it's going to snow based off of usually for all the years that my kids were going out, it only snowed once before October 31st. So, um, as an Alberta girl, born and raised, that's how I gauge when the snow is coming.
Yeah, we do the same thing because 'cause I'm from Edmonton. We're in Edmonton. You were in Edmonton too, weren't you?
Well, we were outside of Edmonton. We're country folk. I'm a horsey girl, so we were always out in the country, but
Yeah.
always within an hour's drive to
Yeah.
our hometown of Edmonton.
Yeah. Do you mind giving a shout out to your actual hometown?
Yeah, well, actually, I would say my actual hometown, again, always in the country, but the closest town was Sherwood Park. So,
Okay,
hey,
that's where I
Sherwood
grew
Park.
up.
My parents are still there, and that's where I went to school and all the good things. So, hey,
Yeah,
Sherwood Park.
absolutely. That was where I grew up too, but I always just say
Really?
Edmonton because then people are like,
Ah,
"Where?" Like, "Sherwood
yeah,
Park."
exactly. Small world.
I know, I love that.
I love that too.
But you've been throughout, Canada at some point, so let's just give a shout out to maybe all the areas that you've been in because Brock from CHRI, he was like, "Where is Jody from?" So,
Right.
now you know her, like, main route. Are you still in the Alberta area, or are you more now in the Ontario area?
No, yeah, we're in Ontario. We moved to Southern Ontario, and it surprised us, but we really felt called here, and we know we did the right thing. So
Mhm.
it was hard to transition, but I love Ontario too. I'm amazed by all the beautiful lakes here and the
Oh, yeah.
weather. I shoveled snow once last winter.
I know.
I don't know what's happening. It's like,
Yeah. See, growing up and dressing up, we were always like the marshmallows with, like, the costumes over top of the snowsuits.
oh yeah,
My
I
my
did that.
kids just
The
get
Michelin
to
Man.
now be yeah, they just get to wear whatever, and, they don't need a jacket even. It's 22 today. What?
Right? Oh,
Yeah.
it's so awesome. It's a blessing.
So, are you close to, like, the London area, or where
We're in
is
we're an hour
closest
south
town?
of there. Yeah, we're an hour
Yeah.
south of there. So it's even warmer. So my thyroid is
Yeah.
up. Oh.
I love it. Alright, well, we talked about where you've been. Let's talk about the musical component of your journey. When did you realize that music was something that you wanted to take more seriously than just a hobby?
Well, we were born and raised to be singing in church, and then older years I was in the worship on the worship team. And I actually went to school studying equine sciences and, was starting colts and training them for a discipline called reining. And I went over to Europe in Austria and was riding horses there. And I'm far enough away from it that now I can be considered a non-pro. But back then, that's what I was doing, and I just remember riding the train and listening to worship and picking apart all the different instruments and really feeling that stirring. I'd always sung in church, but I don't think I took it seriously. And I just felt that stirring to sing with a band and to be on a worship team. And so for me, that's where it started. Um, and I think I kept working in the horse industry, and eventually I really felt the pull. And I was maybe a late bloomer. I was maybe too late feeling that push and not stepping out in faith. But God in His grace, He knows. He always knows how long you're going to take to do things. And so when I stepped out, He was there. He was there to catch me. And actually, you hear a lot of artists go Christian to secular. They branch out
Mhm.
to, but for me, I felt called into the secular industry for a long time, and I never understood why. Now looking back, I can see
Yeah.
the why, and now it's just such a joy to be doing Christian music. It's such a joy to be able to sing exactly what I want to sing and say
Mhm.
exactly what I want to say. So there
Yeah.
I
There you are. Well, let's talk about the Christian single that you have, Give God the Glory. It's
am.
actually number 4 on the more radio charts. Or no, no, sorry. Number 4 on the CanCon chart. Sorry. And so like that means there's only 3 other songs ahead of Give God the Glory. Did you ever think that it would get this kind of momentum?
I'm so surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. In the music industry, you learn to not really have any expectation, but to try to put your best foot forward in excellence. It's a pleasant surprise. And it's just so cool because my husband and I, when we were still in Alberta, we went to Las Vegas one night to see Striper play for their 30th anniversary. And they
Amazing.
had this, yeah, I love Striper. And they had this big to do at the beginning. It was kind of a theatrical thing where they showed on big screens how they struggled until they just literally gave God their career. And it hit me. And I've always given God my career. And I've always said I have the best Jewish agent. But I just really felt like this song, Give God the Glory, is totally meant for me to introduce myself to the Christian music industry, because my whole life gives God the glory. This is the power of our testimony, right? All the tough things that we've been through, we can, turn around to someone, as we're further along in the path and say, hey, it's going to be all right. There is a moment of breakthrough coming. Your moment of breakthrough is coming. You're just developing character right now.
Yeah. Oh, but sometimes it feels like, haven't I developed enough character? Like, can we move on?
Yes, I know, right? I
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
and in life, we're all going to go through that, right? So,
Mhm.
why don't we just go through it with God by our side and being able to talk to Him and, you know, have Him as our close confidant.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and so let's dive into the making of Give God the Glory.
Sure.
Where was the inspiration that, started that song? And just talk about that journey from idea to, like, now it's at radio.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is I've always written my own songs, and I've always been a person that would have liked to do other people's songs, because I consider myself a green writer. I consider, I'm learning to sing, I'm learning to write. I'm always going to have that attitude. And so with these two songs, I really wanted to do songs from other writers. So this is written by a group of 3 amazing writers, and I hope they're okay with me saying it was actually a different song to start out with. And I had been through 200 songs, but this one I kept coming back to, and I just reached out to the writers and I said, I love this song. Would you consider rewriting the lyrics? And it took a few tries, and it took a little bit of talking and thinking. But they did, and I'm so glad they did. So I just kind of shared what I would like to say in the song, and then they took it and they wrote it. So I'm blessed that they let me sing it.
Mhm.
And really, it's just about, you know, we're all going to go through struggles. I think everyone can relate to certain elements in this song where we feel the lies from the darkness. You know, we might feel oppression, but every day we have a choice to let God rewrite our story. It says He can make every path straight, right? And every day we're a new creation. His mercies are new every morning. And so everything we go through really can give God the glory, the
Mhm.
power of the testimony.
You talk about how God can make everything new, and we have different seasons in life that's new. For you, what is something new that God is teaching you?
Wow. Um, that He is very unfamiliar. You know,
Hmm.
I really thought, when you're younger, you think, oh no, I know God. I know Him. I know the Word. But there are certain elements and facets of God I don't know because He's called me to something unfamiliar. He's called me across Canada, away from my family, and to trust Him in what doesn't feel peaceful initially, but He's there. He's saying, you know what, this is me. And so there are elements of Him that we'd like to think God wants to do what we want to
We wish.
do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like the saying, you wanna make God laugh, make a plan.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's good to have a plan. It's good to move forward in excellence, but it's also good to, hear that still small voice.
Mhm. Yeah, don't make the plan unless you've checked in with God first. Then you make the plan, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, Jody, big congratulations as, again, your very first Christian single, one with a
Thank
different kind of
you.
process than ones that you've done previously. So, a huge thank you to all the Christian stations in Canada who have
Thank
said
you.
yes to it. We so appreciate it. Any final thoughts or anything else that you'd like to say, Jody?
You know what? I just hope the music blesses people. I hope if you hear it on the radio, it helps you with what you're going through. It meets you where you're at. And I am really thankful to Radio Across Canada for playing it.
Amazing. Jody, thank you so much for taking some time today
Thank
to
you,
check in with
Holly.
us.
It was
All
so awesome
right.
to speak with you.
Yes, likewise. And, we learn things new every single day. And we do hope that with the artists that 1016 represents, that as radio stations, as listeners, that you do feel that you've been able to grow in your faith. So, again, big thank you to Jody for being a part of our conversation today. We will do more of these kinds of conversations actually coming up next month. I'm excited to introduce you to yet another newer artist. And that's what we love to do here at 1016. We've got so much incredible talent across our nation. And so Jody was so happy to discover her as she reached out to us. And it's just been really amazing working with her and her team. So, again, thank you, Radio, for supporting her music. And if you have any questions, if you want to do an interview with Jody, let us know and we will coordinate that for you. But have a great last day of October. And we will do this again, I believe, next week. So you won't have to wait too long. Thank you to Loretta as well for controlling everything on the back end, and to Robin, the 1016 ladies. Guys, we'll see you again soon.